Welcome to The Note, I'm Mica. In news that is not surprising in the slightest, SNES Classics are still sold out at every retailer. However, Nintendo offered a brief, tiny little glimmer of hope when the retro consoles went up very briefly yesterday and then sold out again. GameStop was the retailer of choice this time, keeping the SNES Classics in stock on their website for a few precious minutes, 8 in total, before gamers everywhere were clicking in vain, only to be denied their pre-order. With less than a month left before the system hits stores on September 29th, the chances to pre-order are just dwindling. However, the latest rumors say that Best Buy may soon be getting a small bit of their stock replenished. Otherwise, you'll have to try your luck with walk-in units or, contact that really sweaty dude on Craigslist who will hook you up. Take a friend. We all know that Sony's not ready to play ball with Microsoft anytime soon when it comes to crossplay across platforms, but so far that hasn't been the case with a few individual developers. Now, Microsoft is putting out an open call to industry leaders to expand the scope of cross-platform shenanigans, speaking directly to Valve and Nintendo about future opportunities. Vice President of Xbox, Mike Ibarra, said to VG247, "The demands of consumers and developers have changed. People are like, we want all of our gamers in one multiplayer pool together, playing. We totally agree with that. If any developer wants to have that conversation, Valve is right down the street from us. Nintendo is too. They're like a block from us. We're having these discussions as developers come up, and we're completely open to that. So make it happen, guys. Seriously, that would be awesome. Please, it's 2017. Bethesda recently said that they're not too sure if Dishonored 3 is even going to be a real thing. However, now they're talking about what would happen if it was a real thing. And according to them, it would go a different direction entirely from the first two games, moving the focus away from Emily and Corvo. That's because upcoming Death of the Outsider DLC just wraps up their story. Arcane director Harvey Smith told IGN, "All I know is that for this set of characters and the situation that started with the rat plague and went through Corvo and Emily and Dodd and Billy and the Outsider, this is the finale of that piece." He went on to say if there are any more Dishonored games, they will be different characters in a different situation. Xbox One X is touting its high-resolution 4K capabilities, but one of their major upcoming exclusives is aiming for something not quite as lofty. Apparently, Sea of Thieves is allowing for something totally different on PC, with a newly announced, wait for it guys, 540p resolution locked at 15 FPS. I know, it's amazing. PC design lead Ted Timmons told PC Gamer that they're doing this in order to make sure their game is more inclusive to those with less beefy rigs. Timmons said, "We actually added a 540p mode so you can go below HD. We've also added a 15 FPS frame rate lock because when we're talking to the community, some people were like, I'm actually happy playing 15 frames per second. We were like, that's actually really cool. We should support that. If you're enjoying the game, why should we as developers knock you for that?" And millions of PC gamers across the globe cringed. But hey, good on them for trying to support as wide of an audience as possible. If you want to play on your LG fridge, you can now. You're welcome. The internet is filled with sad Half-Life 3 fans mourning Episode 3 that never was, thanks to former Valve writer Mark Laidlaw spilling the beans about the game's story on his blog last week. But now, some game developers are trying to get together to bring his vision to life. The Epistle 3 Game Jam calls for any game makers to submit levels or even an entire game inspired by Laidlaw's blog by October 31st. Spoopy. The organizer, Laura Mitchett, wrote, "Some say the dream is dead. We say the opposite." It was caps and ... I had to add the emphasis. Half-Life 3 is finally free where it belongs, out in the world with us. So now we've got lots of Half-Life 3s confirmed. A problematic Overwatch player got roasted publicly by none other than our king, the game director himself. It happened on the Overwatch forums recently where a forum user, Sia, was complaining that their account was flagged for disruptive behavior. Turns out that flag was justified after Jeff KAPLAN himself responded to the post, pointing out that the account has more than 2,200 complaints filed against it, with 3 suspensions, and it's been silenced for more than 9,000 hours. Wow! KAPLAN called it one of the worst offending accounts we've seen, which got us thinking, how is this player not permabanned by now? Also, what were they doing? The newest game from Cliff Bleszinski has only been out for a few weeks, but its player base is already falling off. The concurrent player count for Lawbreakers has dropped below 400 according to Steam charts, down from an all-time peak of more than 7,000. Now, those are just Steam numbers and the game is a multi-plat, but it's still not really a good sign. While Lawbreakers got respectable reviews after it launched on August 8th, it released in a crowded field of competitive multiplayer shooters like, Overwatch, which kind of has eclipsed all the competition. Just ask Battleborn. There have been some hard levels out there in Super Mario Maker. I'm looking at you, Ross, but one streamer may have made the toughest. The streamer Failstream created a level called Final Flight, and to call it insanely difficult is an understatement. But to be able to upload it to Super Mario Maker servers so that others can play it, the creator has to beat it first, and not be a cheapo like Ross and put in hints and cheats. And after more than 480 hours of attempts, wow, I'm gonna say that again, 480 hours of attempts, Failstream finally pulled it off, to the amazement of his Twitch viewers, and frankly, us too after watching his videos. So for all you masochists out there, it's now available to play on Mario Maker. Good luck! Some Ark Survival Evolved players are doing the video game equivalent of returning a pair of shoes that they've owned for years. An enterprising Redditor discovered yesterday that you could get a refund for the game on Steam no matter when you bought it or how many hours you played. This caused a mini stampede as people rushed to return the game, with some doing it in protest at the game's price going up now that it's out of early access. After a few hours though, Valve closed that loophole, so yeah, no more refunds on a game you've spent hundreds of hours enjoying. Hope you're not too attached to your favorite Game of Thrones characters. After a relatively death-free season 7, we're getting word that the finale will be a bloodbath. That's according to no less of a source than Jon Snow himself. The actor who plays him, Kit Harington, told Deadline that the show will be returning to form and killing its main characters quickly. He went on to say characters are going to go, and they're going to go fast, and I think that the payoff for our characters not being in great peril this year will be that next year is going to be a bloodbath. So get ready for another red weddings, or multiple red weddings? Did they just turn into like a different color wedding at this point? Like a purple wedding, a blue wedding, a rainbow wedding? That's all the news we have for you today. And remember, for news from this corner of the internet, that corner of the internet, remember to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know. Moving the focus away from Emily and Emily, that's not. All I know is that for this set of characters and this situation that started with the rat plague and went through Corvo and Emily and Dodd, the Epistle. I thought someone just spelled episode wrong. The Pistol 3 Game Jam calls for any gamers to